Hello, and welcome to your daily top news briefing for Friday, May 8th, 2026. In the next few minutes, we'll cover the biggest stories of the day. Let's get started. Story number 1. Update on a story we covered recently. AIADMK pact could happen in Tamil Nadu, with nudge from BJP. Sources. The TVK argues that as the single largest party, it should be invited to form government. Story number 2. Update on a story we covered recently. DMK to prop up AIADMK government in TN? Stalin will take call. EPS likely to meet Gov with claim today. The legislators left the decision to Stalin, multiple sources told TLI. AIADMK General Secretary Edapati K. Palaniswamy, meanwhile, is understood to have sought Governor R.V. Arlakar's appointment on Friday. Story number 3. PM Modi, Somnath's glory and the sacred idea of Bharat. In a world marked by divisions, the spirit of unity is more relevant than ever. Story number 4. Update on a story we covered recently. Operation Sindoor, how 88 hours of conflict reshaped India air defenses. Over those 4 days, the government temporarily closed 32 airports to civilian air traffic at the peak of the fighting. Story number 5. West Bengal top states in crimes by foreigners, Bangladeshis top accused, NCRB. The National Crime Records Bureau data showed that crimes against foreigners rose from 238 cases in 2023 to 257 in 2024. Story number 6. Would be good if government appointed SC judges as quickly as EC's Supreme Court. The observation came when the court was hearing petitions challenging the CEC and EC Appointment, Conditions of Service and Term of Office Act 2023. Story number 7. Mumbai family deaths. Rat poison ingredient zinc phosphide found in viscera and watermelon sample. Further probe is being conducted by the JJ Marg police station, which has recorded statements of kin and neighbors. Story number 8. Man tries to slit wife's throat on Bengaluru Road. Eyewitnesses beat him up. Before the accused could attack her further, a group of men rushed to the woman's aid. Story number 9. 50 seconds, 8 bullets. Cops hunt 4 hired killers after Suvendu Aids murder. Siliguri police detained a vehicle owner after his car's registration number was linked to the murder of Suvendu Adhikari's personal assistant. Story number 10. Body swollen, eyes yellow. In Kota, a race against time to find out what left 2 new mothers dead for an ICU. Story number 11. Ali Gong seeks better coordination over crucial public issues with ruling NC. Mutual understanding and cooperation among coalition partners were non-negotiable for smooth governance and effective public welfare. Story number 12. Update on a story we covered recently. Misguided. U.S. court rules against Trump's 10% global tariffs. The U.S. Trade Court on Thursday ruled against President Donald Trump's latest 10% global tariffs. Story number 13. Update on a story we covered recently. Virapia only told me. Prince Yadav stuns Kohli using RCB star's own advice. Watch. Lucknow Supergiants secured a vital 9-run DLS victory over Royal Challengers Bengaluru, keeping playoff hopes alive. Story number 14. Morning meal at school sends 150 children to hospital in Bihar. Story number 15. Students of sealed seminary come school hit streets, demand reopening in Kashmir's Shopian. Hundreds of students, accompanied by parents, hit the streets in South Kashmir and marched towards the office of the Deputy Commissioner. Story number 16. Is rooftop solar worth it for middle-class homes? Here's the math. Once a rooftop solar is installed, a portion of household electricity generation becomes fixed cost. Story number 17. Update on a story we covered recently. Oil prices jump as U.S.-Iran tensions intensify. Brent crude stays beyond $100, WTI up 3%. Oil prices surged Friday as U.S.-Iran tensions flared, reversing earlier declines. U.S. strikes on Iranian targets prompted accusations of ceasefire violations escalating fears over the vital Strait of Hormuz. Story number 18. Operation Sindor. A year later, Winnie the Pooh toy to a plastic gun. A 6-year-old search for safety. A long lock. Story number 19. Update on a story we covered recently. Trump says U.S.-Iran ceasefire still in place after exchange of fire in Strait of Hormuz. Iran accuses the U.S. of violating the truce, alleging it targeted an oil tanker and carried out attacks on coastal areas. Story number 20. Tennessee approves map dismantling majority black district. Tennessee has approved a new congressional map that breaks apart a majority black district centered on Memphis. Story number 21. Update on a story we covered recently. Hantavirus outbreak on cruise ship, not start of pandemic, UN Health Agency says. The World Health Organization says it is not in the same situation as with COVID-19 because hantavirus spreads differently. Story number 22. As U.S. and Iran weigh peace deal, stranded seafarers wait in limbo. Some 20,000 seafarers are stranded in the Gulf amid the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Story number 23. Trump's irresponsible war, to blame for economic slowdown, German minister says. Finance Minister Lars Klingbeil blamed the U.S. president's irresponsible war in Iran for harming the German economy. Story number 24. Rosenberg. Russia's Victory Day parade with no tanks a sign Ukraine war not going to plan. For the first time in nearly 2 decades, there will be no military hardware, just soldiers during Saturday's parade in Moscow. Story number 25. Our global alliances fracturing. From NATO to OPEC, global alliances seem strained like never before. Story number 26. Ramp in talks to hit $40 billion plus valuation, 6 months after reaching $32 billion. The company is reportedly in talks to raise another $750 million at a pre-money valuation of more than $40 billion. It last raised in November at $32 billion. Story number 27. Canvas is down as Shiny Hunters threatens to leak schools' data. The Instructure-owned learning management platform, Canvas, is down after recently confirming a massive data breach that impacted student names, email addresses, ID numbers, and messages. Story number 28. DHS can't create vast DNA database to track ICE critics, lawsuit says. Lawsuit accuses DHS of plugging DNA database into ICE surveillance machine. Story number 29. Update on a story we covered recently.
Musk.
Altman evidence shows what Microsoft executives thought of OpenAI. Leaders at the tech giant were skeptical of OpenAI, but wary of pushing it into the arms of Amazon, according to emails dating back to 2018. Story number 30. OpenAI launches new voice intelligence features in its API. The new features could be handy for customer service systems, but OpenAI says they have applications that work across a variety of other fields, including education and creator platforms. Story number 31. Update on a story we covered recently. Mira Murati's deposition pulled back the curtain on Sam Altman's ouster. The week leading up to Thanksgiving 2023 was the AI industry's biggest soap opera moment. OpenAI's CEO Sam Altman was abruptly ousted from his role at the ChatGPT maker. The explanation? Story number 32. Mozilla says 271 vulnerabilities found by Mythos have almost no false positives. The developer of Firefox says it has completely bought in on AI-assisted bug discovery. Story number 33. Trump pivots on AI regulation, worker ousted by Doge runs for office, and hantavirus explained. Today on Uncanny Valley, we're diving into recent reports that the Trump administration is considering an executive order that would establish some sort of federal oversight over new AI models. Story number 34. Kodiak AI raises $100 million at a steep discount, sending its stock tumbling 37%. The company made a series of other announcements during earnings, including a new commercial contract, a pilot program in Canada, and a collaboration. Story number 35. Apple's AirPods with cameras for AI are apparently close to production. Apple's rumored AirPods with cameras are nearing a stage where the company will test early mass production, Bloomberg's Mark Gurman reports. Story number 36. Google unveils screenless Fitbit Air and Google Health app to replace Fitbit. The $100 Fitbit Air is available for pre-order today. Story number 37. How to disable Google's Gemini in Chrome. Chrome users were caught off guard by a 4 GB Google AI model baked into Chrome, sparking privacy concerns. The good news: you can easily uninstall it. The bad? You might not want to. Story number 38. Here's what to expect from Friday's release of the April jobs report. The total picture is one of a labor market that, while undoubtedly cooling, is generally stable and resilient despite a number of challenges. Story number 39. Here's how the stock market may trade the April jobs report, according to JP Morgan. JP Morgan has a list of potential outcomes for the market, depending on what the critically important payroll report shows. Story number 40. Update on a story we covered recently. U.S. and Iran trade fire in Strait of Hormuz. Each claims other shot first. CENTCOM's statement does not mention the status of the U.S.-Iran ceasefire, which has already been frayed by repeated claims that its terms are being breached. Story number 41. Adani Energy stocks emerge as proxy for India's AI trade. Group's push into green-powered data centers is driving gains in its energy units. Story number 42. Iran focus at Trump-Xi summit may delay progress on tariffs, rare earths. Thanks to the Iran war, big issues for U.S. businesses like rare earths and supply chains may take a back seat on the agenda for the Trump-Xi summit. Story number 43. Gundlach takes long-shot bet in case of U.S. debt restructuring. DoubleLine Capital's Jeffrey Gundlach is repositioning some of his funds for the extreme scenario that the U.S. government could choose to restructure its debt in response to a potential future recession. Story number 44. Malaysia to seek Norway explanation over missile supply halt. Malaysia plans to seek clarification from Norway over a halt in the supply of naval strike missiles following a change in defense export policies, a further setback for a long-delayed combat ship project. Story number 45. Why pension funds are doubling down on private credit despite deepening cracks. Pension funds are sticking with private credit, and in some cases doubling down even as concerns mount over underwriting standards, valuation opacity, and sector concentration. Story number 46. Asian stocks drop, oil climbs on Iran tensions, markets wrap. Asian stocks pulled back from a record high, and crude oil rose as escalating tensions in the Middle East revived concerns over energy supplies, testing the durability of the recent equity rally. Story number 47. Prince Yadav to Virat Kohli, and the ball of the tournament. A lot of bowlers bowl 1 or 2 good balls in an over. This guy bowls about 4 to 5. That's his strength, Ambati Rayudu says after Prince Yadav's latest match-winning show at IPL 2026. Story number 48. Update on a story we covered recently. First time in 10 days. Virat Kohli falls for duck as Prince Yadav stuns RCB. Prince Yadav's stunning 140.4 km per hour nipbacker, inspired by Virat Kohli's own advice, shattered the RCB star stumps, marking Kohli's first IPL duck in over 3 years. Story number 49. Betting, corruption allegations rock BPL. BCB suspends multiple individuals. In a statement, the BCB said the charges came after investigations carried out by the Bangladesh Cricket Board Integrity Unit, BCBU. Story number 50. Follow live. Lakers, Thunder exchange buckets in T. Null. That's all for today's briefing. If you found this useful, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss tomorrow's update. See you again tomorrow.